Good morning, respected faculty and fellow students. Today, our group will present a strategy management analysis of Inari Amertron Berhad, a Malaysian semiconductor company with significant potential for transformation. Our presentation focuses on how Inari can evolve from being a regional outsourced semiconductor assembly and test or set leader to become a global innovation partner in the semiconductor value chain. This transformation is particularly relevant as Malaysia positions itself as a key player in the global semiconductor industry. Let's begin by understanding Inari's current position and market context. Inari Amertron Berhad was founded in 2006 in Penang, Malaysia, and subsequently listed on Bursa Malaysia in 2011. The company operates as a pure-play OSAT provider, offering service across radio frequency testing, optoelectronic packaging, system-in-packaging assembly, and electronic test and measurement solution through its subsidiary CITEC. Today, Inari manages 13 high-technology manufacturing plants across Malaysia, the Philippines, and China, employing more than 8,000 staff globally. Its strategic location in Penang, often referred to as a Malaysia Silicon Island, provides access to the sense ecosystem of semiconductor suppliers, talent pools, and government incentives. Inari business model is anchored on long-term partnership with leading global technology clients, with Broadcom as a cornerstone customer. While this partnership has supported Inari growth trajectory, it has also created significant concentration risk that we will address in our strategy recommendations. The company's position in Malaysia's semiconductor ecosystem offers both advantage and challenge as it navigates an increasingly competitive global landscape. Examining Inari's financial performance from 2020 to 2024 reveals both resilience and vulnerability. As you can see in the chart, revenue expanded significantly from 2020 to 2022, peaking at Ringgit Malaysia 1.55 billion, driven by global 5G adoption and RF component demands. However, profitability softened in 2023 and 2024 due to an industry down cycle and client inventory adjustment. Despite this challenge, Inari has maintained robust cash reserve, reaching Ringgit Malaysia 2.26 billion in 2024 and remains completely debt-free. This financial prudence represents a key strategy resources under the resource-based wheel framework, as described by Barney 1991. The company's strong cash position provides flexibility for strategy investment, while its debt-free structure reduces financial risk during industry downturns. Nevertheless, the financial data also highlight Inari's vulnerability to semiconductor industry cycles and its dependence on a limited customer base. This underscores the need for strategy diversification, which we will explore further in our analysis.
Inari's current vision emphasizes becoming a preferred OSAT partner, while its mission highlights cost-effective and reliable semiconductor packaging and testing service. While these statements align with operational excellence, they lack references to innovation, global competitiveness, and sustainability, elements that are essential in today's competitive landscape. According to David Du, effective vision statements should be clear, inspirational, and future-oriented, while mission statements must address customer product, market technology, philosophy, and concern for survival. Inari's current statements are narrowly defined, focusing more on efficiency than on long-term strategic positioning. We propose revised vision and mission statements that expand beyond effective to emphasize innovation, sustainability, and customer-centricity, elements critical for long-term competitiveness. This revised statement directly follows the act component of mission statement and the characteristic of effective vision statement identified by strategic management scholars. The strategic pillars we have identified: innovation, global reach, sustainability, and customer focus will guide our subsequent analysis and recommendation. Our SWOT analysis reveals Inari's key internal and external factors that influence its strategic position. Looking at strengths, Inari demonstrates remarkable financial reliance with 2.26 billion in cash reserve and zero debts. Its operational efficiency and strategic location in Penang's semiconductor ecosystem provide competitive advantage in the OSAT market. However, significant weaknesses include heavy dependence on Broadcom for over 70% of revenue, limited R&D investment at less than 3% of revenue, and weak global brand recognition compared to largest competitor. The external environment presents opportunity in growing demand for AI and EV semiconductor, potential for ESG-driven innovations in green packaging, and expansion possibility into emerging markets like India and Vietnam. Threats include industry affecting demand pattern, geopolitical tensions between the US and China impacting global supply chains, and intense competition from other global or SAT providers. The tools analysis suggests leveraging financial strength to invest in AI and EV semiconductor packaging while diversifying the customer base to reduce geopolitical and cyclical risks. Competitor benchmarking with TSMC highlights that Inari cannot compete directly on scale and must instead focus on niche market and regional leadership. Porter's 5-force analysis revealed that competitive dynamics shaping Inari's industry position. Buyer power is high due to Inari's heavy dependence on Broadcom, given customer significant leverage in negotiation. Supplier power is moderate, with standardized input but some specialized equipment creating dependencies. The threat of new entrants is low due to high capital requirement and technical expertise need to enter the OSAT market. Similarly, the threat of substitute is low as there are limited alternatives to semiconductor packaging and testing service. However, industry rival is high, with intense competition from global OSAT providers, increasing pricing pressure. Our pastel analysis identifies several microenvironment factors affecting Inari. Political factors include US-China tensions disrupting global supply chains. Economic factors highlight industry cyclicality impacting demand and pricing. Social threats show growing demands for connected device and application. Technology factors include rapid advancement in AI, 5G, and automotive semiconductor. Environmental pressure are increasing for sustainable manufacturing practice, while legal factors include stricter regulations on environmental compliance. This analysis suggests three key strategy implications. Inari must enhance its technological capabilities to counter buyer power, diversify market and customer base to reduce geopolitical risks, and position itself as a differential, sustainability-oriented OSAT partner to stand out in a competitive landscape.
Effective implementations of our strategy recommendations requires appropriate leadership styles and organizational alignment. For Inari's transformations, we recommended three complementary leadership approaches. Transformational leadership is essential to inspire employees with a shared visions and long-term purpose, fostering innovations and shifting from an efficiency-focused OSAT to an innovation-driven company. Adaptive leadership will help navigate uncertainty such as geopolitical risks and cyclical semiconductor downturns by encouraging flexible decision-making and decentralized authority. Visionary leadership from Inari CEO and top management must articulate clear directions for sustainability, digitalization, and global expansions. Applying the Markinson 7S framework, we are identifying necessary changes across all dimensions. Strategy must shift from cost leadership to differentiations through innovations and sustainability. Structure should evolve from functional to matrix organization with cross-functional teams. System need to be incorporate innovation metrics and ESG performance indicators. Leadership style should adopt a transformational approach. Staff development requires recruiting R&D talent and building innovations capability. Skill must focus on advanced packaging technologies, and shared value needs to evolve from operational excellence to innovations and sustainability. Inari's organizational culture must also transform from its current efficiency and customer orientations to emphasize innovations, collaborations, and sustainability. This culture shift is fundamental to supporting the strategy changes we are recommending. To analyze Inari growth opportunity, we have applied the ENSOF matrix framework developed by
IGRO hands-off in 1957. This framework helps identify strategy options based on existing and new products and markets. Currently, Inari is primarily focused on market penetration, deepening its relationship with Broadcom and optimizing existing OSAT services. While this approach has low risk, it limits growth potential and increases concentration risk. Our analysis suggests that Inari should pursue a balanced approach between product development and market development strategy. For product development, we recommended increasing R&D investment from less than 3 to 5% of revenue to develop proprietary packaging technologies for imaging applications like AI, semiconductors, and automotive EV components. For market development, we suggest expanding Inari geographic footprint into India and Vietnam to access new markets and government incentives while reducing dependence on existing locations. Diversifications into adjacent opportunities like renewable energy electronics represents a high-risk, longer-term strategy that should be explored through strategy partnerships to mitigate risk. This balanced approach would allow Inari to leverage its existing strengths while building new capabilities for sustainable growth. Using the Boston Consulting Group Growth Share Matrix, we analyzed Inari business portfolio to guide resources allocation decision. RF testing represents Inari's star business unit with a high growth driven by 5G and IT demand and a strong market position. This segment requires continued investment to maintain leadership and capitalize on market growth. Auto electrics packaging functions as a cash cow, generating reliable cash flow with moderate growth. This established business should be optimized to fund growth initiative in other segments. CDEC test and measurement business is a question mark, showing high growth potential but limited current market share. This segment requires selective investment with a clear performance milestone to determine its long-term viability. Finally, legacy assembled lines with low differentiation represent dogs in portfolio. This should be considered for divestment or repositioning to free up resources for more promising segment. This portfolio analysis highlights the needs for strategy resources allocation to balance current profitability with future growth opportunity.
To translate our strategy recommendations into measurable objectives, we have developed a balanced scorecard based on Kaplan and Norton's frameworks, 1992. This approach ensures alignment between day-to-day operations and long-term strategic goals across 4 key perspectives. From the financial perspective, we recommend increased R&D investment to 5% of revenues and targeting 8 to 10% compound annual growth rate over the next 5 years. For customer perspective, we propose reducing the top 3 customers' revenue contribution to less than 60% and establishing presence in 2 new geographic markets. In terms of internal processes, we suggest increasing yield rates by 5% and reducing carbon footprint by 20% by 2028 to enhance both operational excellence and ESG performance. For learning and growth, we recommend filling at least 10 patents annually by 2026 and providing 40 plus hours of training per employees annually to build innovation capacity and develop talent. This balanced approach ensures that Inari's operational metrics support its long-term strategy transformations rather than focusing solely on short-term financial results. Based on our comprehensive analysis, we recommend 5 key strategy initiatives for Inari. First, customer diversification to reduce Broadcom dependence by expanding into high-growth segments like automotive, semiconductors, and artificial intelligence or Internet of Things devices. This would mitigate concentration risks and open new growth avenues. Second, geographic expansion into emerging markets like India and Vietnam to access new customers and government incentives. This would reduce geographic concentration and leverage regional growth opportunities. Third, increasing research and development investment from less than 3% to 5% of revenue to develop proprietary packaging technologies. This would enhance differentiation and create barriers to competition. Fourth, implementing environment, social, governance, integration through green packaging process and sustainability initiatives to align with global client goals.
This would position Inari as a responsible partner in an increasingly ESG conscious industry. 5. Cultural transformation to shift from an efficiency-focused mindset to an innovation-driven culture. This would enable the successful implementation of the other strategy initiatives. We propose a 3-phase transformation roadmap spanning 5 years. Phase 1, which is year 1, establish foundations through R&D center development, customer diversification planning, and ESG framework implementation. Phase 2, which is year 2 to year 3, execute expansion into new markets and customer segments while launching proprietary technologies. Phase 3, which is year 4 to year 5, complete transformation to a balanced portfolio, sustainability leadership, and global innovation positioning. This phased approach ensures realistic implementation while maintaining financial stability throughout the transformation. In conclusion, our strategic analysis recommends 5 key initiatives to transform Inari Amertron from a regional OSAT, which is outsourced semiconductor assembly and test provider, to a global innovation partner. Number 1, customer diversification to reduce Broadcom dependence. Number 2, geographic expansion into India and Vietnam. Number 3, increase R&D investment from less than 3% to 5% of revenue. 4, environmental social governance, which is ESG integration through green packaging process. 5, cultural transformation toward innovations. This transformation journey will progress from Inari's current state as a regional OSAT leader focused on operational excellence to becoming a global innovation partner characterized by a balanced portfolio, technological differentiation, and sustainability growth. By leveraging Malaysia's semiconductor ecosystem while building sustainable competitive advantages through innovations, diversifications, and ESG leadership, Inari can secure its position in the global semiconductor value chain and create long-term value for all stakeholders. Thank you for your attention. We welcome any questions about our analysis and recommendations. Thanks, Dr. Jerome, and thanks to all my teammates from Sabah.